Just listen to that good tunage in the background. But anyway, happy subjective Easter, I guess. Today has nothing to do with Easter, but oh well. The 1926 alcohol poisonings will work instead. Let's begin. Little lesson in history first, though. In 1920, activists in America wanted to bring an end to various toxic activities, such as crime and corruption. The best way in their minds was to ban alcohol, a big factor in most cases of such, and so the 18th Amendment, known as Prohibition, was passed, banning alcohol manufacture and sale. This seemed like a step in the right direction, but as to be expected, nobody really followed the new law, despite strict enforcement. 6 years after Prohibition became law, there was much anger in the government, as you would expect, and some extreme decisions were made. A big factor in bootleggers being able to make the banned substance is stealing and repurposing industrial alcohol used to light clean and such, taking it back to a drinkable state. This is where the U.S. government decided to make an example of drinkers and brewers alike, creating industrial alcohol with a few more poisonous ingredients. Things like iodine, mercury salts, chloroform, and even gasoline were introduced into the mixture, immediately showing the results. By the end of the year, in fact, in New York City, 400 were dead, killed by the newfound poison introduced into the mixture by the new laws. Said laws were passed, in fact, stating that the industrial alcohol was to be made twice as deadly as its state beforehand, and as to be expected, many anti-prohibitionists were enraged by this seemingly government-ordered legalized genocide. And while the actions were defended by most believing in its cause, it's hard to argue with the results. Prohibition was passed with the promise of crime, and especially death, going down. But in 1933, when Prohibition was repealed, over 10,000 people were killed by the government poisoning. The so-called chemists' war on alcohol is a dark footnote in Prohibition history, and a grim reminder of how far some people will go to support their cause. A horrifying true story of the United States government's intentionally poisoning citizens without intent to kill, but with results to reflect, making it an extremely interesting bit of history indeed. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks for the overflowing support. If you have a suggestion, be sure to let it known, as I'm always open, and it really does help a million times to have your suggestions. Thanks again. Have a good night.